New Zealand to kick off. Russell Smith, the referee from Great Britain. Again, this will be a real key point to see how he keeps these teams apart in the play the ball situation. He just awaits the call from Mr. Smith. Willie Kahn to bring this one back for Australia. Michael O'Connor, interesting to know who really does enjoy the advantage of the breeze.
There's not a lot of breeze down here. There's plenty of atmosphere, though, Graham, on the sideline. Interesting enough, the referee, Russell Smith, has had a meeting with Bob Fulton through the week. I've just spoken to Bob Fulton about his interpretation of the tackle rule. In Australia, in the Winfield Cup, when the player is stopped in motion, he's called held. It's not going to be the case today, so watch out for the Australians. They won't be trying to put the player on the ground. They'll be just trying to hold him in the tackle, so that gives them the opportunity to get back and reform.
Well, the Australians go out near halfway. Lazarus straight into the Kiwis, 42 metres out from the New Zealand line. Harrigan to take over. Good quick defence from New Zealand. Langer on the fringe, look for Clyde, cuts him out, sends it to Serenin. He draws the attention of three defenders. Steve Walters harassed and put down, some bustling defence. Kevin Walters in behind the line, tries to get her away from Morven Edwards. He allows it to travel out over the sideline. Trying to get it away from their own 20-metre zone. And an early penalty now for the Kiwis. And somebody has had something to say very quickly out to the 40 metres. So Australia gives away another 10. Takes his time as Langer tries to regain some composure for the Australians. Langer in behind the line, nobody home. Kicked ahead, it will be too strong. So already a couple of kicks getting in behind the line. The Kiwis being caught out with nobody there. Great thinking from the Brisbane combination.
Yeah, it certainly was, and that resulted in the penalty down the other end. New Zealand gave away the good field position by a little bit of undisciplined play from Edwards, the fullback.
Freeman on a run around with Dwayne Mann. Brent Todd seems as though he has recovered. Freeman. Rapati brings in Nikau, standing nice and wide. Back for Watson. Great stepping. He's got support. There should be a penalty. They still play the advantage. Now that's a good advantage played by Russell Smith. A penalty to New Zealand to call up Daryl Halligan. Morven Edwards was taken out of it. And all of a sudden, out wide, there were some gaps.
Well, it was sensational play from New Zealand. First time they've got the ball out wide. Great work from Nikau, getting the ball out to Watson in. A very, very good break, but silly play by Australia. If they hadn't done that, it was a certain four-pointer for the Kiwis.
Daryl Halligan. He is an ace. One of the world's great goal kickers. Give this man too many chances in this test match, and you are in big trouble. To enjoy a little bit of a breeze here to assist to bring it around from the right. Halligan. You never can deny this man. The Kiwis nose ahead, 2-0. Daryl Halligan, just 26 years of age. The marketing rep from North Sydney gives the Kiwis a start.
And that was a good start for New Zealand in more ways than one.
The Kiwis from the restart now trying to bring it back inside their own 20. Halligan, great confidence booster. Was there a little knock on in there? No, says Russell Smith. New Zealand gaining in some confidence in the early moments, the opening 8 and 9 minutes of this First test of 1993, not so on this occasion as Morven Edwards coughs it up. Langer upset as he tries to get that to Kevin Walters. Tries to keep Gary Freeman away from him. Now Willie Kahn. Langer to Bradley Clyde.
They're setting right.
Australia instead take on the right-hand side of the defensive line, breaking left and bringing it back, knocked back. Michael Hancock continues on. 10 metres out. Langer looks wide. Langer, a big hole up the middle. Dale Shearer, did he get it down the opening try? Right next to the post, New Zealand just opened up, and Alan Langer waltzed his way through to set it up for Dale Shearer.
Well, Alfie Langer, you've got to chase him from the inside out. You've got to take away that inside option. It wasn't done then. Dale Shearer lurking up from fullback. Took a lot of strength to score that try. It was a very good Australian effort. A good four-pointer.
Yeah, here's Langer here. He's got plenty of support outside, and the New Zealand defence was all stacked up out wide, and you just can't let this little halfback run at the defence. He's too good on his feet, and he's also got a good pass in him.
Well, he sniffed it out for Dale Shearer, who picks up his third try in test matches against New Zealand. He has played 12 tests in all, now to try and get the maximum number of points from right next to the posts. No doubt about it, Australia, the world champions, come back in reply, 6-2. So Australia confidently on reply, and thankfully, Graham Lowe, those clouds have continued to roll by, and plenty of sunshine for this one.
It is sunshine, good sunshine, but it's also interesting to note it doesn't look to be too slippery out there, Graham. Looks good conditions underfoot.
Halligan. Howie Tamati already on his feet, sideline, the New Zealand coach. Daly with a restart, and they get it to 30 metres out. Bobby Lemon. Langer. Lazarus on the fringe. Sorry, Michael, trying to get a report still on Brent Todd.
He's just suffered a bit of blurred vision, a knock over the eye, but he'll be okay, Graham.
This time the Australians get the ball away from Morven Edwards. Down into the in-goal area. He allows it to come back to the 20. Lowy, we are seeing some rather shallow in-goal areas here at Mount Smart.
Yes, well, New Zealand fields always work on the minimum requirement of the International League. Certainly much shorter than what we're used to in Winfield Cup football. The kickers are going to have to be very, very careful. Also puts plenty of pressure on and tests the nerves of the fullbacks.
Pongia. Solomona with a step to get away from Harrigan. Strong surge to pick up about 8 metres.
Well, it's very important from New Zealand's point of view that the Kiwi forwards stand up to Australia, and at this stage, they are holding their own against a much bigger Australian pack.
Again, marvellous footwork from Dave Watson.
It is noticeable, Graham, that they're keeping, the referee Russell Smith's keeping a very good 5. It's almost 8 metres.
Gets Australia, that's a good example of it, as he takes Australia back into their own side of halfway. Some big hitting coming in from the Australians. Hancock tries to work in tandem with Shearer, but great defence. He loses it. Was it stolen? Not at all. There'll be a scrum and a great opportunity for New Zealand. Was this ball stolen?
Well, there was plenty of pressure from the New Zealand chasers there. I'd say that if it was Winfield Cup football, they'd say it was stolen. But this is a Pommy referee.
Well, that was a good angle from the side that the referee was looking at, and it would have been hard for him to produce a penalty out of all of that. Rapati inside to Watson on a run around back outside on the angle for Gary Freeman. Can the Kiwis come up with a try and reply now to Australia? Todd takes it just outside the danger zone. Freeman working this short side continually now to Nikau. Rapati, very wide. Jumping high to stop and take it was Mercer. Mercer straightens up. Taken strongly by Daly, the Australian captain. Freeman wants it, standing flat. In behind the line, tries to chip through. But there is no way through for him.
There's still a good passage of play from the Kiwis then. Able to put plenty of pressure on Australia, but they must now back it up with good defence. They've gained field position. They've got to be able to control it and keep Australia down there. Prior to this, they haven't been able to. They've given away a penalty or let Australia sneak out with good back play.
Langer, confidently wide. Beautiful cut-out ball. Free run for Hancock. Fiddler inside. This is a chance. Great chasing. Great cover from Halligan to get back. They have New Zealand on the rack as Clyde is pulled down on the last tackle. Now, can they regroup? Langer. Langer looking for Willie Kahn, but that is too strong. But they threaten to put it together. Brilliant play from Australia. And a good save in the end from New Zealand. Looking for a quick play of the ball. Shearer. Ball looked as though it was nearly forward to Langer. Daly quickly to Fiddler. Fiddler stands up Dave Watson. Tries to take on Morgan Edwards, not finished off. Still alive for Michael Hancock. One tackle left again for New Zealand to defend. Langer goes to Daly. Daly shapes for 1 point. He is happy just to grab the extra one. That is enough. Good attacking passage from the Kangaroos.
Well, they've been playing very well. Out wide is where they've been gaining plenty of advantage. But Laurie Daly, the captain out there today, showed the coolness, showed the awareness, and that 1 point's very important.
So Freeman now to marshal his troops. Overall possession pretty square. Brent Todd. Rapati to McCracken, who gets a rare touch. He has not been involved much. Tried to get to his feet quickly, and he has dragged the penalty out of Harrigan, who wants to continue on with it. That would be quite a matchup. We've seen Harrigan at his best against Bella in State of Origin football this year. McCracken was keen as well to go on with it.
Well, Paul Harrigan certainly came in to give him a good serve. Fortunately for Jared McCracken, he ducked under it, but McCracken hasn't been able to get involved in the game yet. He went looking for the ball then. He possibly is the player that can spark New Zealand. New Zealand going into its shell a little bit. The Australian forwards are starting to get on top when they're running with the ball.
Todd settles things down for the Kiwis. They take it towards the posts. Freeman cutting men out similarly to the way the Australians have been doing it as he brings in McCracken. Again, Freeman behind the line. Hoppy gets a good bounce. What a great try. Clever play from Gary Freeman that sets alight Mount Smart Stadium. All of a sudden, the momentum that the Australians had gained is upset. 7-6 as Gary Freeman continues to stay on a short side that brings Sean Hoppy's first ever try against Australia.
Jared McCracken in there sparking that off, but Gary Freeman, look at the man, kicking it to the short side there. Same sort of play comes up with the Eastern Suburbs Roosters, and a great finish in by Sean Hoppy.
Yeah, Dale Shearer's caught out of position here a little bit. He should have read that Freeman was coming across there. Turned into a foot race between Shearer and Hoppy, and Hoppy's won it. He's improved the distance too. He's improved the angle. He's got it in close to the posts.
Yeah, it looked like a good planned move to me. They're not taking on Australia up the middle. They've got Mercer and Nicol running very wide. They move it 2/3. Freeman comes across, as you see many times at Eastern Suburbs, put the little grubber through, and a great finish there by Sean Hoppy. Isn't that matchup between him and Kana beauty?
It certainly is, Michael. Now it is Halligan to try and put the Kiwis back in front. Need we even wonder on some occasions with this man? Nearly on all occasions, I should say. First test of 1993. It is 8-7.
But they haven't got their heads down. They're looking to where the gaps are, and that's what's paying off for them.
Hancock. Some worrying times for Laurie Daly, his team, and coach Bob Fulton now.
But Graham, Australia are the world champions. They can respond. They can reply to any good play from any side.
Now that is very close to a spear tackle.
That was a spear tackle.
The claims were there, Michael, from Willie Kahn, who rushed in. Now, high tackle again. The ball's being coughed up. Now, this tackle on Clyde looked to be dangerous.
Yeah, I don't think he can do that sort of thing. It's very dangerous tackle, and it should have been penalised straight away.
New Zealand with a scrum feed. Just where they want it. Good quick ball from Nikau. Hoppy to Kahn. And that battle on the sideline continues. Freeman really working away at this right-hand side of the Australian defence. Todd, as always, there to take it up over the advantage line.
And that was a very important ruck, that, because Toddy turned the whole Australian side around. Made them all go back an extra 5.
Solomona.
They're coming back on the short side.
Freeman is still setting himself there. Sheridan over the top as Todd ducks. Last tackle, the kick is on again. This time they run it. McCracken from a long way back. Shoves it back. Still alive. Hoppy gets the call to put it up. Hoppy puts everybody onside. And they take Shearer. 10 out from his own line. Australia still under pressure.
Great work from New Zealand. Good pressure football, but now they've got to back it up with good defence. Kiwi forwards have got to get in there and really hammer Australia, because the Australian forwards, in my opinion, are having the better of it. That is what's required.
Nikau marked up on Sheridan. Sheridan bounces back to his feet. This is really building now. Russell Smith wants somebody. Penalty against a high tackle. This is a great hit from Nikau.
Yeah, Nikau, he's very brave in defence. He doesn't mind the contact, and he's hit and stuck that time.
Try and pick the mind here, John, of Bob Fulton.
Yeah, I think he's a little concerned. I think they're not dominating the game like they'd want to. They started off very well, and but New Zealand is they're right in this game, and I'd say he's a little worried.
Kevin Walters takes it to the line. Last tackle, 12 metres out. Langer chopping and changing, goes back to Shearer. Shearer floats it. Sean Hoppy's gone. Here comes Shearer. Here comes Kahn. The chase is on. Forget about it. There is real trouble now. It is still early days in this opening test, but it is extra hard for the world champions as New Zealand are climbing out of the ground at 12-7. The world champs take a risk and get punished.
Well, Australia probably guilty of playing catch-up football too early here. There's no way in the world that pass was on. Once it got into Sean Hoppy's arms, it was a try all over. A great winger, Sean Hoppy, a great Canberra player, and certainly today a very, very proud Kiwi. It was a good try that turned things around strongly now in New Zealand's favour.
Yeah, I think it's really put Australia under the knuckle here. Sean Hoppy's come up with 2 tries in about 7 or 8 minutes, and what a great way to start your New Zealand career.
He went a long, long way. The chase was on from 2 very quick men, Dale Shearer and also Willie Kahn, but they were never going to catch the man who put it right under the black dot and turns around with a gift for the man from the opposite side of the field, Darryl Halligan. New Zealand on a big roll here at Mount Smart Stadium. Look out. Upsets on the cards. The Kiwis in a very big way, 14-7. Steve Walters left alone, a dummy half. Langer with a great run, just 2 and 3 metres away. One more tackle. Kevin Walters off the Kiwi boot to Steve Walters. No try. Was the ball played at? Was Steve Walters put onside?
Yeah, I feel the ball came off a New Zealand foot, which makes him onside. I mean, he play on.
That's a try.
Looks like he hit the line with the ball, and that's a try.
Certainly looked like a try there for Australia. They were a bit hard done by, but it's shown a weakness that New Zealand's going to have to be very, very careful with. Once they've come up with good plays, New Zealand, they don't back it up good enough with their defence. They've got...
He's playing in the line at the moment. He plays out of the line at
the moment. It's all right having him in the line as long as he's with.
Getting down to the dangerous last 5.
Australia's guilty of missing just as many tackles around the ruck at the moment as the Kiwis.
Great change of direction to McCracken, but a brilliant tackle from Langer as it really opens up. Penalty against Australia for stealing the ball.
Well, here we have McCracken changing the angle, coming straight down. Good work from Alfie Langer, coming from the inside out.
28 out from their own line in a tough first 40 minutes to the opening test of 1993. Last tackle. Kevin Walters showing it. Thrown forward by Steve Walters. A very important scrum about to pack. Handover, in fact, for New Zealand. 14-7.
New Zealand counter-attacking has got to be spot on now. Like to see Dwayne Mann run a little more from dummy half, take a leaf out of Steve Walters' book. Steve Walters is actually having a very good game. He's making breaks when he runs down from the dummy half position. Dwayne Mann has got to follow suit.
Mercer. Quickly to his feet for Watson. Watson to Nikau. Took a solid hit from Clyde, finished off by Sirinen. Solomona, not shirking any work, tries to get it back up the middle. Watson gets away, slips it to Rapati to go into a half gap. Last tackle right on the 20. Freeman quickly calling for it. Knocked on by Australia. There is still time. Michael O'Connor tried to pull off a great slips catch. There will be a minute and a half to go from the scrum. 9 handling errors against the Australians.
Well, the kicking game of the Kiwis working very well at the moment. Gary Freeman keeping the ball along the ground, doing the grubber kick, and it is paying off. Those angle kicks are putting plenty of pressure on the Australian outside backs.
Rapati loses it. All of a sudden it comes unstuck, and Australia should be able to handle the last 75 seconds. They might even produce something from deep. Kevin Walters. Langer quickly trying to get on with the play. Daly outside. Daly's got a chance with Khan. Back inside. McCracken's there. Wrestles with him, puts him down 42 metres out. The last 60 seconds in front of us. Langer. Kevin Walters. Bradley Clyde. Back to Brad Fittler. Fittler to Kevin Walters. Has plenty of support too now. Shearer with a step. The last 40 seconds and New Zealand are stretched. They're on the rack as Australia dig deep to find a try. Harrigan right in front of the post. Hands and knees. He is taking them to 2 metres out. Steve Walters from dummy half. Steals a try with 20 seconds left on the clock. Simply from dummy half. And that will hurt New Zealand, who will not enjoy the big advantage now at half-time.
Well, that was a disastrous 10 seconds or so from New Zealand. Very, very slack defence around the marker area. But the referee allowing Paul Harrigan to go along on his hands and knees. Like, when does he tackle? I think he should have been held earlier, made to play the ball quicker, but very, very ordinary marking there from the New Zealand defenders.
Picked up quickly, though, by Steve Walters, who was smartly out of there. Didn't matter about the numbers in front of him, and he nabs his 3rd try against New Zealand. He stays low to the ground. Strong runner. Tremendous test match here at Mount Smart between the world champions and New Zealand. Shearer to leave it, but only 1 point in it. Very impressive first 40. A great test match on our hands here in Auckland at the break by 1, 14-13. Good crowd of around 25, maybe 27, 28,000 here in Auckland. Great atmosphere and a great test match on our hands. New Zealand, 1 point ahead. You only need 1 to get you, 2 to get you home. They will be happy to leave it as it is. 14-13, the Kiwis by 1 as we set ourselves for the last 40.
But Australia's got to come back. Things are turning against them at vital points.
The Australians, who are under pressure that they normally handle at this level. Dave Watson. Both sides now will have to guard against a slow start to the second half. Nothing in this test opener of 93. Solomona takes it to the 40. Tuta takes it up strongly, so we've got changes. Halligan, under pressure, has to go back to his left foot. And that is a great kick under pressure from him to send Willie Kahn 10 metres out from his own line. Good chasing too, good straight line. Todd fires in with Freeman. Rapati was there as well. Bobby Ledner.
Graham, the only change this half is Pongi is off with a bruised hip and Brendan Tuta's on for New Zealand.
Tuta straight into it. He's already got a touch. Now he makes his first tackle. Lazarus. Tuta is coming off a great match last weekend here in New Zealand. In the Canterbury-Auckland clash now, Shearer getting it away from Halligan. Tit for tat as they feel each other out at the start of the second half, looking for a mistake at either end. Hoppy. Taken, put down by Bradley Clyde. Todd. He loses the ball. New Zealand made 96 first half tackles. Dwayne Mann with 20 led the way. 86 Australia. Harrigan with 14.
Here.
Now a high tackle on Todd. Quick to act was Russell Smith.
Well, it was around the neck, that tackle by Laurie Daly. I don't think there was a lot in it.
Tuta again, trying to be everywhere in the opening 3 minutes of this second half. Mann, a short ball to Solomona, who gets a good ball back. And Dwayne Mann on hands and knees nearly sneaks away. Freeman, the advantage of a very quick play. The ball, Rapati takes it to the line. The gap closed in a good Sheridan tackle. Freeman again. Watson to McCracken. To Darryl Halligan, called back. Ball was knocked forward by McCracken, says Russell Smith. New Zealand had a half chance on a short side again.
Well, the Australian defence working overtime there, slowing the play down. Very, very unlucky, the New Zealand side there. But the thing is, for the Kiwis, the positive play was there. The positive play was there. They went out to attack.
Good sharp call. There was no doubt the ball went forward from Watson.
Oh, no doubt whatsoever. Good sliding defence also from the Australians countering it.
McCracken flies in. Ball and all on Redner. Harrigan. The Kiwis losing nothing by comparison. Australia really put to the test. Langer. Back inside to Shearer. Shearer under pressure. Still gets his kick in. He kept his composure. Has a little bit of a battle with Gary Mercer after he puts the kick in as well. But now it's Morvan Edwards trying to step inside Laurie Daly. Gets a ball back. A bit of a pressure one. Well taken by Hoppy. And a great comeback from the winger, who is having a dream test against Australia. Todd chased, put down, out near halfway. Solomona takes it to halfway. Well, Michael O'Connor, what was said at the break by Bob Fulton?
Well, Bob Fulton was upset that at the scoreline with the 2 tries, but he said that they were sort of against the run of play to a certain extent, that they were a little bit lucky. He was very critical of Australia's the fact that their ability not to play out their set of 6 tackles. He said out of eight tackles, sets of 6, only 5 were, 5 tackles on 5 separate occasions they dropped the ball.
Hancock allows this one to bounce. It gets away a little. Halligan with a quick chase and a driving tackle.
And that was one of the most important tackles so far in this second half. A very, very important tackle. Forced Australia across the field, but they've got to back it up with strong defence again.
Daly trying to turn nothing into something. Kevin Walters likewise as they go up the middle, still play on. Back to brother Steve. Great step from Langham, nearly got right through. So all of a sudden it looked as though there was little on, and they turn it into a surge that takes them to halfway. New Zealand stretched out wide as the Australians go to a back line. Daly up the middle, touch, 6 more tackles. Sirinen winds up. Sirinen charges to the 30-metre line. They have 6 more tackles. Kevin Walters to Brad Fittler. Tried to pop up a ball for Hancock. John Mooney as the Australians try and get back in with a try after the break. Their hands again let them down.
Yeah, they are. They're not making the most of their opportunities. They picked up a little good field position there. This is the second tackle, and it's not the time to force a pass out.
The scrums go to New Zealand 6-3, make it 7-3. Rapati stepping inside quickly out of there from the scrummers. Bradley Clyde to assist Shearer. Todd, nearly always first man to the ruck for New Zealand. Freeman to McCracken. Great clashes out on the wing, especially with Hoppy and Khan. Now there's a great clash in the centres between McCracken, Daly, Fittler and Watson. Now an advantage for New Zealand. Again, not allowing the man to play it. This is the 3rd time McCracken has milked it for a penalty. 6-5, the penalties just favouring New Zealand. Australia, they were defending their own line. Now they go down the other end looking for a try. Harrigan with a good step to get away from Tudor. Picked at the man was coming out of the line quickly. Left a little bit of the gap out wider. Langer. Sirinen. Sirinen takes it in behind the line.
Australia's got so many options when they're running with the ball. Alfie's got a number of players he can give it to, and it's easy for him because the New Zealand defence isn't coming up in a line together. So those weaving passes of Alfie Langer are very, very dangerous at the moment.
Clyde. Australia again starting to threaten last tackle. Fittler has gone to first receiver. He will bomb. Morvan Edwards right in front of the post. He nearly grabbed it. Morvan Edwards comes up with it and picks up 20 metres. That was nearly a try. Fittler just couldn't grab it.
Well, it was a great bomb. Good pressure. Fittler there nearly took the ball, but you said nearly a try. To get a try, to score a try, you've got to take the ball, and he didn't.
He thought he had it. Morvan Edwards stood his ground. And standing his ground more than just that again is Solomona.
I don't know what Edwards takes for nerve tablets, but they certainly work.
Now Todd plays it 42 metres out as they set for a kick. Halligan gets a bounce just a little away from Dale Shearer. They get him inside that danger zone. 10-6. Mercer.
Be interesting to see what happens now with the replacement players, Graham. Australia are very, very strong in the replacement area, but the Kiwis also got some good defensive players sitting there, so it's going to be a vital area that's going to be used shortly.
Rapati. Haven't seen him open up as yet.
Hell, guys. We've got Brad Mackay down on the sideline warming up now.
So Brad Mackay gets the call for Australia to start to warm. Bomb down to Shearer. Todd chases, but the line is broken and they might even bring it back on counter-attack. Hancock taken strongly by Tudor. Getting down to, well, a fumble. Also, more replacements. John Lomax, only massive role.
Really important.
They look to go wide with some big numbers. Can they get it there quickly? Freeman to McCracken, Australia. Rush up both sides of the ruck, hanging on near the line. Freeman again. Rapati stepping. Taken well by Sheridan, but he gets the ball away to Watson. To Freeman! Freeman taken by Shearer both sides. Stretched to the limit in attack and defence. Watson. Watson inside for Drayman! Did he get it down? No! He tried to reach out. Russell Smith was right on the spot, trying to check if he got the downward pressure.
Well, good driving there from Dwayne Mann. The goal line was close. To me, that looked like a try. To me, it looked like he forced the ball on the goal line.
Let's take another look, John. Did he get it down on the line with pressure? Yes.
They're great things, aren't they, replays? But the referee hasn't got the time on the replay. He's got to make a decision on the spot, and that's what he did.
It cut the chalk. It was a try.
It was a try.
Both sides getting in good field position and then giving away valuable territory with silly penalties.
20 tackle advantage to the Kiwis in the opposition half. Todd. Mercer. New Zealand nearly midway through the second half of this opening test with a real look in at one of the great upsets. Australia strong favourites as world champs going into this game. And a great test match all unfolding here at Mount Smart Stadium. The crowd are well and truly warming to the home heroes.
Very good set of 6 tackles. That finished off with a good kick into the corner. Turned all the Australians around. There's nothing a team likes better than walking forward towards the scrum as opposed to the opposition with their backs. And hear that crowd for the Kiwis.
Gary Freeman, the veteran, having a fine game, the captain. Australia receive a penalty. But that Kiwi chant is up and strong. Harrigan and Freeman having plenty of words to each other.
Michael's already mentioned it. Both sides guilty of giving away valuable field position. Plenty of good work just going unstuck with silly play.
John, you've watched it back in England. You've watched the international game really come to life with a resurgence from Great Britain. The Kiwis on track as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of talent on show out there, and they're playing particularly well. They're matching Australia ball for ball, 6 tackle for 6 tackle. And there's no shortage of talent on either side.
Langer switching play quickly. The Australians still trying to find a missing link. Trying to find the gap that might find a try to turn the test. There is hope everywhere around this Mount Smart Stadium for the Kiwis, though. Mackay heard a late call from Hancock, who was unmarked down the sideline. Couldn't get it to him. Langer will bomb away. Morgan Edwards to come up and try and grab it brilliantly. He really brings them alive here at Mount Smart as Hoppy takes it back.
Well, that was a good kick from Alfie Langer because plenty of pressure then on the outside backs, but Morgan Edwards, a la Matthew Ridge. Matthew Ridge wouldn't have done any better than that. It was a very, very good take from Morgan Edwards.
Langer, he will only have Willie Kahn outside him, and a mile of chance to find at least...
What a hit!
What a hit from McCracken on the giant, Glenn Lazarus. Now they put it down, and they turn defence into attack. Fittler nearly stole it. Just like Hoppy, Fittler was nearly gone.
Don't be surprised to see Ian Roberts come on for Paul Sirenen.
Fittler thought he nearly had it. Freeman suggests to his players, let's curl it.
Well, the talent that's available on both of these teams is obvious here. They can move the ball quickly. That pass, had it stuck, was pressure for Australia, but it didn't. Very, very good work from Fittler.
Kevin Walters has been replaced by Steve Renouf.
So Steve Renouf out there. Sirenen tries to just slap away a defender, gets the ball stolen. It will be a penalty. Now, there is no doubt about it. Freeman argues a point, but it was plain for all to see.
No good arguing about it. It was silly play then from Dwayne Mann. Put New Zealand under all sorts of pressure again. They've now got to look to their defence because Australia's
unloaded. October against Great Britain. Can he do it?
Could have been somebody jagged in the back play there too.
10 minutes left. Australia with a chance that nearly pulled it out. Now Tony Kemp.
Both sides are very desperate, but very tired, but are desperate. This New Zealand side are scrambling very well in defence.
New Zealand's got to get home with the crowd support at the moment. This Kiwi crowd has got to put up the big chant, just as the Queensland do for the Queensland crowd do for their team.
Marvin Edwards down to Willie Kahn. They need a chase. The chase not so enthusiastic late in the game. Everybody starting to tire. This field, because of the rain, will have taken its toll on the legs. Shearer. Who will it be for Australia to try and turn it around? Or who will it be for New Zealand to ensure the big upset? The missed tackles. 2-1 against New Zealand. Langer trying to come more into his own now.
Well, Gary Freeman's taken over his role at the back of the ruck now. He's playing behind the line and he's talking. He's marshalling his troops. And that's a great play there by McCracken.
McCracken had Renouf in his sights. He had the radar locked on. Renouf fumbled, and New Zealand with an opportunity.
Well, McCracken's been going for this play right throughout the game. This is where it really came off for him. He put Steve Renouf under all sorts of pressure there, did force an error. Mind you, he put most players under pressure. He's a monster.
Freeman. 9 minutes now. New Zealand just where they want to be. Still looking for a try, though, in this second half. Dave Watson running behind some of his forwards. The chance still up around Mount Smart for the Kiwis. Tight. Australia desperate in defence. Their defence at times has been exceptional deep in their own 20. Tuta. New Zealand just throwing themselves into the line. Freeman kicking back across the ruck for Hoppy. That's taken beautifully by Kahn. Back to the 20. Pinpoint accuracy from Freeman. He just needed a little bit more height. Quick restart from the Australians, and it is a short offensive line from New Zealand.
Yeah, well, certainly the referee now, I think he's getting tired as well, because the clearance between the two players, the two sets of teams, is becoming obvious. No way in the world New Zealand was back 10 metres there, but you'll also notice the 5 metres is starting to get very skinny.
More prevalent in this second half as they stand up on each other. Shearer fumbles. Harrigan's got it. Are we looking at the most vital point in the game? Dave Watson quickly out of dummy half, trying to pick up the pace right here and now, trying to put paid to this first test. Mercer throws himself right on the 20. 3 defenders put him to ground. They slow down the play of the ball. Kemp, Nikau, good ball, great ball, Halligan. Clever play, great defence. Dwayne Mann quickly to Freeman, to Watson. Watson sits up an awkward ball. Back goes Lomax. The Australians rush up and pick up about 20 metres. Last tackle, Freeman still wants it. Dwayne Mann, trap, still gets it back to Freeman. Freeman has some men left over. And again, Hoppy dummies. Back to Edwards, who will put up the little chip. Hoppy did beautifully to try and pick it up, then knocked on. Australia will waste no time. There is but only 6.5 minutes remaining. Langer takes it up to the line. Nobody back for New Zealand. Edwards up in the line at the moment. No fullback home. Big handling error count against Australia.
Wouldn't get a better finish to a test match than this, Graham. Fantastic defensive display by Australia at this stage. Been under all sorts of pressure, but also great play and attack from New Zealand.
Bradley Clyde to Daly. Ball looks forward to Mackay. Clyde gets away from Todd. Big numbers. Harrigan, can he unload? Lomax chases. Willie Kahn back inside to Renouf. Brilliant play. Great defence and cover from Freeman, but New Zealand are in trouble. Steve Walters, the Australians, from one side to the other. Langer. Still trapped last tackle. Time and time again, both sides pushed down to the last, and they continue to hang on. Daly with a field goal attempt looking for the draw. Hoppy now. Exciting stuff here at Mount Smart. Great test. Plenty of mistakes from both sides, but it has been gripping throughout this second 40.
Gary Freeman absolutely barking at his troops at the moment. He saved this game if New Zealand win. That was an absolute certainty, that try, if it wasn't for Gary Freeman playing behind the line and covering up.
Well, he's done it right throughout the game, Michael.
He really is screaming at his troops now. They look tired. Both sides look tired.
Inside the last 5. The first test up for grabs. The Kiwis have a 1-point advantage. Shearer gets away from 1. Straightens, gets away from 2. Will get away from Dwayne Mann. Back to Renouf, who takes the tackle of McCracken. Now, he was injured. McCracken grabs it. That might be a penalty. It has to be. Now, Russell Smith tries to stop the clock. McCracken gives away a penalty. And the Australians will go down near halfway or even into New Zealand territory. The clock restarts.
Silly play that by Jared McCracken. Gary Freeman's got to get his troops together now and got to lay the law down to them. The game is theirs if they can be disciplined.
John, the toughest 4 minutes that Australia have faced in a long time.
Yeah, it is, but they've just got to be patient. They've got to hang on. They've got to get themselves in a position to score some points, and then when the opportunity comes, take it.
Would you grab 1 point? Would you grab a field goal?
No, I'd go for broke.
Bradley Clyde just outside the 20. Will they go for broke? It is 14-13. Langer, he goes for broke wide. Roberts stands right near the 20 before they put him down. Time almost gone, 3.5. Fittler tries to put an impact on it. Fittler gets rid of 2, stands, can't get it back. Langer's there if they want
I'll
1.
take the field goal and cut my losses here.
It's Daly! Daly grabs it! Locked together, unbelievable stuff! They keep their cool. And it is 14-all. Halligan back for a restart. Freeman. He knows that New Zealand now need the 1 point. They are the ones that will look for a field goal.
And how important was that field goal that Daly came up with before?
What a field goal from Daly. The Australians, the world champs, under pressure.
St George
The defending victory. The Kiwi, 2 minutes on. They get down into Australian territory. Being a drawn test between the two. We've got plenty of records up for grabs. Donnelly with his first touch in Test football against the Australians, taken by Langer. They've got to go a long way down the other end. Edwards, the danger is there if they force a pass and come up with a mistake. They need to get away from here. Halligan might be the man to come infield if they get over the halfway line to search for a field goal. Donnelly, his run is brought down. And he loses his jumper.
super defence from Brad Mackay.
Be a few other players in Australia, people in Australia and New Zealand losing their shirts on this game, I'll tell you, more than their shirts.
Now we're checking the clock at this stage. We think there might still be over a minute. The chase is on. Australia have but only 60 seconds to handle. Hancock taken by Freeman. Enthralling test. Absolutely enthralling. New Zealand are serving out a big warning to Australia, and Australia under pressure have come up with a lot of great defence. Now that is a very skinny play of the ball, about a 2 or 3 metre rule only. Tamati, hopeful of a mistake. McCracken tries to force one. Renouf has it just outside the 20. 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Is there a miracle left either way? Roberts, Australia kill it. 20 seconds, last tackle. Do you believe? Is there anything left from New Zealand? Fittler goes deep to Edwards. He will have only 10 seconds. Last throw of the dice. Who can stand up and produce? Last tackle of what has been an exciting test. There could be a penalty. The crowd has absolutely rushed onto this ground. That was important. 14 all. Russell Smith may have been forced to produce a penalty there at the finish. Forget about it now.